we'll start with linear equation in two variable, which is there in your class 10 syllabus. So these linear equation in two variables, these equations are primarily in this format. So one of the equation would be like this a1x plus b1y plus c1, where x and y are two variables, and the other equation would be like a2x plus b2y plus c2, where again x and y are two variables. And because there are two variables, we actually need two equations to solve them. But yeah, these are equations for two lines. Okay, and what would happen if there are two lines in an xy plane? So either those lines would intersect, right? So these kind of lines intersect. So in that case, a1 by a2 will not be equal to b1 by b2. Or if those lines are coincident, so there is one line and the another line is also on top of that. So in that case, e1 by e2 will be equal to b1 by b2 and will be equal to c1 by c2. And the third case would be if these two lines are parallel. So one of the lines is like this and the another line would be like this. So in that case, the slope which we get by these two coefficient a1 b1 and a2 b2, though the slope of the line, okay, the angle of the line would be the same. That's why this would remain the same. This ratio a1 by a2 will be equal to b1 by b2, while the intercept is different. So intercept on the y-axis, that is different. That is why it is not equal to c1 by c2, because the moment it is equal to c1 by c2, it becomes coincident line. It's the same line. So let's see how these look like. So here, if you see in this image, these two lines, the yellow one and the green ones, they are parallel. And if you look at the equations here, it's, you see this, if this is say a1, this is b1 and this is c1, here it is a2, b2 and c2. So a1 by a2 is equal to 1 by 1, b1 by b2 is equal to 2 by 2, which is again 1 by 1, and c1 by c2 is equal to minus 8 by minus 14. So these two are equal, but c1 by c2 is not the same as this. So this is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, which is not equal to c1 by c2. So these are actually parallel lines. Okay, so we can observe it from here. Now these lines, so one of these red lines, it is intersecting with both these parallel lines. So in this case, because they are intersecting, so this is say a1, b1 and c1. Let's say this is a3, b3 and c3. So here we can see that for these two lines, this yellow one and the red one, a1 by a3 is equal to 1 by 7, while b1 by b3 is equal to 2 by 3, and they are not equal. So that's why they are intersecting lines. Okay, and the coincident lines, actually we can't actually draw one line on top of another, but there, because all these ratios are same, so even if the equation, for example this equation, if you see x plus 2y minus 14 is equal to 0, if I just multiply all the coefficient by some number, for example if we just multiply it by 2, 2x plus 4y minus 28 is equal to 0. So these two, although they seem to be two different linear equations, but because the ratios are same, the line, if you try to plot it on this on xy axis, the line would be the same. So this equation, the line for this equation and the line for this equation would be this same green line. Okay,